My name is Colston, CEO of Untitled Chapter, and today we're going to be talking about credit and finances. How can we leverage our credit? As business owners, the three most important numbers is not our weight. Remember, we want our weight to be very low, but we want our credit score to be very high. So today we're going to talk about how we're going to get that credit score to be very high so we can literally leverage everything that we do. I'm from Nicaragua. I came over here in 1989 with my mom, my sister, and my dad. And I remember, it's an American dream, realtors, they can help us out with that. My mother going to the bank and saying, I want to purchase a home. And they said, okay, we'll help you. So my mother will go every 2 weeks, deposit her check at the bank, leave. Every 2 weeks, come, deposit the check again, leave. 2 or 3 years later pass by, my mother said, I want to purchase a home. You said that if I deposit my check and I use this plastic card, that I was going to be able to be approved. That plastic card was a debit card, not a credit card. So when they ran her credit, she had no credit. So who's there to teach us? No one is teaching us. And we're talking about bankers, and that's their job. They're not teaching us, because nobody teaches them. Always remember that. Then they look at our income. If it wasn't for the great United States of America, I don't know where we'll be. My mother at that time, and we did not believe this until she showed us the W-2. She made $10,000 that year. So imagine, no credit, no income. What are you going to do? Nothing. So the way the United States of America makes their money, and this right here is pretty disgusting, what I'm going to tell you. It is. And you know me, Keith. And I know a lot of people here, so this is pretty cool. Jose, I've known you for 20-something years, man. It's so amazing to see you again. The United States of America makes money by you having debt. The more debt that you have, the more money they make. The more debt you have, the more interest you pay. So how are we going to get better if there's no education about that? Because that's the way the United States of America makes money. That's why they don't teach us this. So today we're going to learn that. I put over here in your table a little pamphlet. It's a 2-sided paper. You can write down notes. If you like, you can put one of the papers inside the envelope and seal it. You can put your information, your business card, and I'll reach out to you guys privately to discuss what's going on with your credit and finances. Credit potholes on the road to close. So when we're trying to close a loan, a deal, I always tell my clients to be prepared for 6 months. If you're going to be purchasing a building, you're going to be purchasing a home, you're going to be doing a line of credit, you're going to be doing something large, prepare yourself. Because it's going to take time for you to gain a massive amount of momentum. So this is where it starts. It needs to start today, so we can get, at least in 90 days, our pre-approval, and then we can start closing within the 6 months. It's the same thing if you're looking for a business line of credit, business credit cards, automobiles. Remember, the credit score changes every 30 days. A lot of people tell me, Chris, I use my credit card and I pay it off right away. Then I use it again and I pay it off right away. If the cycle goes through and you did not time it perfectly, it did not post on the credit report correctly. So when I talk to my customers, I tell them, do not use your credit cards for at least 60 days so everything shuffles through and everything gets adjusted. Because I'll show you later on what happens if it does not happen. This right here is the credit score scale, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent, 850. Very bad, 300. 350. Now, who here can tell me what's the average credit score in America right now?
550.
Fair? Fair and where? 650?
It's very bad.
Okay.
It's definitely
What do you
very
think, Pat?
bad. I think it's very bad.
Tell them. Give me numbers. 550? What do you think, Keith? 4? Okay. Remember, we're talking about average credit score in America. Not the lowest, average. Anyone else? 600? All right. Almost. 715 now. Right now it's 715, ladies and gentlemen. It has been the highest that it's ever been. Highest. Why? Because of influx of money. Influx of money. So a lot of people, you know, when the PPP loans came in, when all the aid came in, they were actually paying off their debt. They actually did it because they didn't know what was going to happen, right? We were in panic mode. So people actually did the right thing. So guess what's happening now? We have increased debt by $51 billion. $51 billion in the first quarter. So people are going back again and spending money. So what does this mean for you? And I know everyone here is a business owner. This is very important. Yes, you can get a loan at a 650 credit score. Yes, you can get approved at a 580. But you're not getting the best rate. You're not getting the best deal. So what are you doing at that time? You're giving money away. Why do you want to give money away? That's the money you work for. So our goal here is to get you to the 740 and above. At the 740 and above, now you're saving money. Now you're dictating to the banks what you want. And now it's a competition to earn your business. Because banks, they want clients like everyone here. Great clients. Now also banks, and I've spoken to many of you guys here, they want us. Why us? So if we don't have the 715 credit score, but we have a very established business, we make very good money, that means that we can afford to pay more. So they target us. They say, you know what? You can pay 2% more interest rate. It's only going to be $100, $50 more, but you're just giving money away. So they target us right here, these banks. So what we want to do is we want to gain leverage. We want to gain the power back to us. So our goal here, ladies and gentlemen, 740 and above. And I'm going to teach you how we're going to do that. Now, what are potholes? Potholes is anything that can prevent you from closing, refinancing your home, your automobile, credit card, anything. Now, a pothole can be something very little, or it could be a crater. But all of them can be fixed. This right here is the credit score formula. This is what the banks do not want to show you. This is how your credit score is generated. Now, how many of you guys think the more credit cards that you have in your file, the better your credit score will be? The more credit cards you have in your credit file, the lower your credit score will be, because you're more of a liability. The way the banks look at you, it says, if they have 10 credit cards or 15 credit cards open, they have 15 opportunities to do damage, to get themselves into a big crater, big pothole. So my ideal advice for everyone here is to have a minimum of 3 credit cards and maximum of 5 credit cards. Okay? If you do that, you always will know what's going on with your credit and your finances. As a business owner, do you guys believe that your personal credit is your business credit? Good job, Samara. No. So your business has its own tax ID, its own credit. And you have your own credit, right? Your own social security number. But for you to get credit for the business, they always look at the owner. So if the owner is not good, how can the business be good? Now what I see a lot with business owners is that they utilize their personal credit usage. This is very important. Your credit usage goes above 25% of what the credit card company gave you. So if a credit card company gave you $10,000 credit limit, you go above $2,500, your credit score drops by 40 points from one month to the other. Okay? So that's the problem when using personal credit for business. Now, when you have a business credit card and you use it, it doesn't show up in your personal credit report. So it's very good, right? Because now you're skinny, you're slim. But the business now is generating business credit. You could also buy your automobile and put it under your business name, by the way. You can lease it or you can finance it. Once you do that, it doesn't show up on your personal credit report. So for realtors, mortgage professionals, that's a great way to qualify your clients. Because now that $400 automobile payment of $600 is not counting against them in the debt to income ratio. The same thing when you go and apply for a business loan, it's not counting against you because you don't have extra debt. Now you're using your personal credit, your business credit to work for it. So types of available credit, that's very important as well. I see a lot, and this happens a lot here in our community, that we're so loyal to our banks. Let's say we have Bank of America. We have 2 or 3 credit cards with Bank of America, and we think that's great. No. You want to have a couple of friends that say good things about you. You do. You know, like Jose is laughing, right? Yeah, Jose is saying good things about you. You got Pam, over here, you get all kinds of people saying that holds more water. You don't want to just have Bank of America, Bank of America, Bank of America. It doesn't solidify you. It doesn't make you strong. But you don't want to have too many friends. Because remember what your parents told you, if you have more than 5 friends, you have too much, right? So the same thing over here. So we want to have good types of available credit. Now, do we want to close credit cards? Should we close out credit cards?
Why not?
Why not? Say it again? It closes your credit history. That's great. What's another reason why you don't want to close out your credit card? Great job. Great job. So when I start closing credit cards for my clients, I close out credit cards that I call junk credit cards. Right? But you gotta be careful though with those. Because that junk credit card may be that first credit card that you got 20 years ago. That's really solidifying. Because now, every credit card that you have is just like a friend. If I have a 20-year-old friend, Jose, then I can ask you for larger favors, right? Because we know each other. But if you have a friend right now that I just met an hour ago, she may be like, Chris, I like you, but I don't know. Right? So maybe if we're trimming down credit cards, we're going to close out Amber because she doesn't know me too well. So you want to be very careful when closing credit cards, but also you want to close out credit cards that are not giving you anything in return. There's a lot of great credit cards right now that will give you cash back, miles, hotels, so many rewards. But why do people think credit cards are bad? Who can help me out with this? Why do people think credit cards are bad? Yep. Do we get into debt because of credit cards? You know that if we utilize our credit cards just the same way we utilize our debit card, we will never get in trouble. But what Pam said is true. We can't control ourselves. I'll give you guys a gigantic trick. Look at your credit card statements each Saturday. Sit down with a cup of coffee in the morning. Look at your credit card statements. You will start seeing, excuse my word, okay, how much shit we buy. How much interest we pay on that. But also, make a payment every Saturday. Send a payment. Many people think that you can only make a payment once a month. And that's what they want to tell you. Because remember, if you have 30 days to lose track, to spend, and you're not going to have that money paid off at the end of the month, right? You have somebody telling you, hey, what's going on? But if you see it every Saturday, you're like, oh, wow, I got to pump my brakes. We can't go out, honey. We can't do that. And that's the way that you're going to use the credit cards the right way to gain momentum. Now, 35% of your credit score is payment history. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the most important because it's the largest. If you have a great payment history, you will gain 35% of credit. If you miss one payment, how many points do you think you'll drop? 24? Anybody else? You're awesome, by the way. You're great. So you lose anywhere between 60 to up to 100 points from one month to the other, ladies and gentlemen, by one late payment. So remember how we were saying about how many credit cards we have open? See, now you have to remember sending 10 payments or 15 payments a month. Very likely that you're going to miss a payment because there's so much stuff going on in life. But if you trim it down, now you have more control. If you only utilize one or two credit cards, you'll be well. There's a great app that I love that I recommend all my clients. This is going to help you with your finances and keeping track of your payments, of all your payments, all the credit cards, mortgage, automobile. It's called Mint, M-I-N-T, mint.com. It's excellent. So it's the sister company of Intuit. So QuickBooks, if you've ever used QuickBooks, same thing, but for personal. It's going to remind you with your payments. And it also will remind you, you can put there, not to go over that usage. Remember I was talking about the credit usage? You can put there, I only want to utilize 25%. If you go over it, it'll send you a text message or an email, and then you can pay it down. So you can always keep that credit score high. Always remember, high. Now, debt to available credit. The more debt you have, the lower your credit score. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can get something out of this today, it's this. Debt is the killer of dreams. Whatever dreams you have, debt will kill. You will not be able to buy anything if you have too much debt. You don't want to buy anything if you have too much debt. Let's pay off things quickly. Now, the best way to do so, you're going to pay off the smallest debt that you have first. You're going to send minimum payments to everything else, but the smallest one, you're going to go and concentrate to pay that off. Then you move to the second smallest. It's called the snowball effect. With that, you're going to gain so much more momentum because you're going to start feeling so good because you're like, paid off, paid off, paid off, credit scores increase. Now, a lot of people will go with the highest debt or with the one with the highest interest rate, right? It makes sense. But you're not going to gain momentum, Pam. What about if that credit card is $10,000 and it's going to take you a year to pay it off? You may get down on yourself and saying, man, I'm doing all this and I'm not seeing this go up. But if you concentrate on the little ones, you're building momentum, you're feeling good, and maybe you could go and get another, you could do a balance transfer, 0%, and close that paper out. So gain momentum to gain credit score. Let me move on real quick because I don't have a lot of time left. I'll show you here. This is bankruptcies. Bankruptcies stay on your credit report, ladies and gentlemen, for 10 years. All right? Repossessions, judgments, 7 years. This is an example of a client that I was able to help out after a gigantic credit. He went from 590 credit score to an 800 credit score. This first year was by setting him up, acknowledging his finances. We have to see what we have available to play with. Then deciding that game plan for him. Getting him a business credit card so then he can use his business and his credit card in actual personal side, right? Because remember, if we use the personal, it hurts us. And now he was able to move forward with his business. So this is pretty good. Now, this one right here was pretty. An easy way, because I got like 2 minutes, I don't want to go over all these things. An easy way to increase your credit scores is to become an authorized user on someone's credit. If your mom or dad have great credit, or your grandma, they can add you as an authorized user, you can piggyback them, and your credit score will increase automatically. Also, another way to increase your credit score, or if you have very young credit, is to get what is called a secure credit card. The secure credit card is a prepaid credit card. You deposit $1,000 and not use it, and now you're building new positive credit. So as we're cleaning the negative items, we can start creating positive accounts and building the business credit. Have a relationship with your business banker. It's very important. If your bank is too big, find a community bank, because they're going to help you solidify your business credit once your personal credit is good. I'll open it up for any questions.
So let's just say I have 15 credit cards, right? And should I start canceling some of my credit cards, or will that hurt my credit? If I don't owe money and I haven't used them for, let's say, a few years, but I know I have.
It could potentially hurt your credit plan, because if you close the wrong one, it could bring it down. So you don't want to close the oldest credit card, so that's the one that we want to keep. That's the longevity, the oldest friend that you have. And also you don't want to close one that has a very high credit limit. Alright? Now, a little added bonus. If you guys have great credit and you guys have paid your credit cards well, twice a year you can do this. You can ask for a credit limit increase. You contact your credit card company and you tell them, I want to increase my credit limit. So if you have a $10,000 credit card, you're going to go and ask for $20,000. Why do you want to do that? Your debt ratio changes. What's it? Your debt ratio changes, but you're also looking very responsible. Because now you have a $20,000 credit card with very little debt, right? And now you're not searching for many credit cards to have to gain points. Now you have 3 to 5 credit cards very strong, and now you look very financially wise.
How do you do that without having to do a required?
Some of them, Ricardo, will not do one if you're old customers of theirs, but some of them will do that. If they do an inquiry, you lose 3 to 5 points. But you'll gain much more, because now you're going to showcase more strength, more firepower.
What about like building credit for a child? At what age do you add them to a card or figure out a way to set them up?
18 years of age. 18 years of age. So at 18 years, you can add them to your authorized users, and you can start adding them also some of the prepaid. You can start guiding. They can get a debit card right now and start learning how to use it. But to build credit, 18 years of age. Now, it's a very iffy topic. I've had clients that have done that. Their children have gone out to school, and then they apply for credit cards, and then now they're in debt, or they go buy an automobile. You know, they go, look, Dad, Mom, look, I bought a car, I'm independent. They say I have credit, and it comes and bites you. So, you know, everything with caution. But yes, 18 years of age. Anyone else?
So you mentioned increasing your credit card limit, but then what goes to buy a property? Doesn't that decrease the available credit that you have?
No, it actually increases. So let's say, for example, you have a $10,000 credit card, right? And you owe nothing, you owe zero. By you going up to $20,000, now you have larger credit limit, larger available credit for you. So when they pull credit, now your credit score is actually higher, because now the credit ratio just got much better, because it's debt to credit ratio or credit to limit ratio as well. So it will help you out. And by doing that, you're not going to be searching and just trying to get credit cards that help out your credit score. You're just concentrating on the one good friend and staying with that one good friend there. Hold on. Anyone else? So if you guys are in the real estate and mortgage industry, you know both of these gentlemen. Robert Riadigos and Philip Delgado, clients of mine that they were very kind to do a testimonial. And this is cool. They were saying that I help a lot of athletes. So I'm actually the credit advisor to 14 NFL teams and the UFC. So it's pretty cool that I get to help out also young professionals as well. Anyone else? We're good? Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you. Before we go, I wanted to say something very special. Happy Mother's Day. That's coming up. So happy Mother's Day.